interested with U.S. immigration? Can Donald Trump give you a green? Hey guys, before you file for your spouse, hey guys, come on in, type in freedom now. We're going to have our Monday live Q&A show. It's very nice to be with you guys. I hope you had a terrific weekend. I'm LaToya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York, working with clients globally at McBean Law, where we have the privilege of working with wonderful people from across the U.S. and in many different countries. Type in freedom now. Hey there, Kwaku, always the first. Kwaku, what are you doing, right? Are you sitting there counting down? Kwaku is always the first. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love seeing you every week. Hey there, Andrea, Ruth, it's good to have you on. Simone, thank you for being here. Guys, let us know where you're watching from, where you're joining from. I see that Florida is in the house, of course, Floridians. Now is the time to really understand what's going on with immigration. New Jersey is here as well. Thank you for being with me. At McBean Law, guys, we're reachable. I'll get it right one of these days. We're reachable at 914-898-9488, where you can request an appointment with an attorney, or you can email us at info@mcbeanlaw.com to request an appointment. It's a very busy time, as you guys can imagine. We have our phone line is open between 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and Saturdays and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., where you can reach one of our receptionists who would be very happy to book your consultation. Freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. We we begin cases only after having a consultation, because we've got to understand your history. Most of the cases we work on are very difficult cases, so we've got to drill down a little bit during your consultation to understand your background and see how we might be able to assist you. So just give us a call at 914-898-9488 to book your appointment. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, now let's get into your immigration questions today, okay? This session is being moderated. If you're joining on Facebook, share this with your feed so that others can get some good information as well. Now, the first question that I see has to do with advanced parole. Advanced parole through the airport. Okay, so you guys might have seen videos on TikTok primarily circulating about problems that people are having across the country, okay, with their travel. These are different scenarios. Different people are experiencing different things. For some people, they have a green card and they're experiencing certain things. For others, they're using advanced parole. And I know that in January, some people were having problems with their advanced parole at airports, but they were still being allowed into the United States. There are a lot of stories circulating, guys, when there are major policy changes that happen. I will be sure to report out to you and to give you the travel warnings and advisories as I become aware of them, okay? But just remember that there are a lot of stories. Some are you could verify, others you cannot verify, right? Hey there, Anita. Good to see you. We have an Anita here as well. DJ is asking, when are we going to have an office in Fort Lauderdale? I don't know. Do we need an office in Fort Lauderdale? We have a lot of clients in Florida who we help virtually. Immigration, our practice is nationwide. We have the ability through the technology to reach our clients across the country and in many different countries as well. So at this time, we do not have any plans to open a physical office in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Freedom now, freedom now. By the way, most immigration attorneys can represent a client living anywhere. Okay, our license and practice allows us to do that. Hey there, Connecticut is in the house. Freedom now, guys. Thank you. Good question. Thank you for being here from Temp, I think, Arizona. Houston is here, New York, Georgia. Okay, let's go down a little bit to your questions. Spring Valley is in the house. Great to have you. All right. Where are the questions? Let's go all the way down. Let's go. Thank you, Merlette. Okay. Okay, Lawrence says, I wanted to file for my mom. Is it a wise idea to do that now? Should I file now? Good question. I'm of the opinion that if you have an immigration case, now is a good time to do it because the policies are changing. Things are going to become more difficult, and things will slow down. Case processing times will become longer, unfortunately, and we all will be dealing with that reality very soon. So now is actually a good time to file for your mother. Lawrence, if you're a U.S. citizen, you can file for her. If she's here in the United States, she might be eligible for adjustment of status. If she's overseas, you'll start with the I-130 process and then have her go through the visa center process, which will also be slowed down too under what's coming, all of the changes that we're expecting any day now with the visa services and processing and all of that. So Lawrence, I recommend for many people who come to see us after I dive deeper into their background that if they have a case, that we should start now. For some people, they might have to wait it out. And we tell them one-on-one privately in a consultation that you're going to have to sit this one out for a little bit. But for most people, they're able to file a case right away. Thank you. Let's see. I'm not sure about that C14. I'm not sure about that right now. So I'm going to skip over your question. Let's see. Let's keep going. Hey there, Velma. Good to see you. Okay, so someone is asking, if immigration deports me, can I pay for my own ticket to be deported right away, or do I have to stay detained for months or until they find a flight that's available to me? So individuals always, unless there's a criminal matter going on that you're responsible for finishing up, but typically individuals are free to sign a form to be deported right away without having to wait. Okay, but before you do anything like that, absolutely consult with a lawyer because, when you, after leaving the United States, you might want to come back, right? So you have to understand what steps are involved with returning to the United States in the event one day you make the decision that you'd like to return to the U.S., even deportees, all right? Speak with an immigration lawyer before you sign any paperwork in detention. Let's see. Misha says that lawyers' fees are so expensive, some of us cannot afford them, and it's one of the things that is holding us back. And that is a reality. Yes, that is very true for some people. There are free services, pro bono services out there for some nonprofits. Those resources are even more limited these days than before because federal funding for some of the larger nonprofit organizations supporting immigrant services, those contracts are cut, right? And they've lost a major funding stream from the federal government. And so resources are going to become even more limited for pro bono, for these nonprofits to be able to serve individuals. We have payment plan options at McBean Law. The way that it works here is that you'll pay for a consultation, and if we start a case or if you start the case, your consultation fee is credited back to you in that first fee agreement, and then you can have a payment plan option. We have a billing department who explains those details to clients who are ready to start. So we understand that legal fees are expensive. It's just the nature of the it is the industry, truly. What about traveling outside of the U.S. with a 2-year green card? Okay, so Jennifer, again, this goes to stories that are being told on TikTok and in other places online about the trouble that people are having. We haven't had any of our clients have a problem who have this 2-year conditional residency green card. We've not had anyone to call us and say, I'm stuck at the airport, they won't let me in, or I'm stuck outside of the United States, or they've taken away my green card and cut it up. That has not happened to anyone, any of our clients. I have not had, I can't verify any of those things, but I do know that some people are experiencing some unusual things during this time. For individuals who have a 2-year green card, first of all, everyone is traveling at their own risk these days. That's what I still say to people. It's always going to be at your own risk, but you are able to travel on that conditional residency green card and return to the United States. Okay. Can I file the form I-485, which is for adjustment of status, after my I-130 has been approved? However, my motion to terminate my removal case is still pending before the BIA, the Board of Immigration Appeals. So the normal process is that you, if you're not an arriving alien, USC, and you're in removal, USCIS cannot make a decision, cannot approve an I-485 green card application for you. And so the proper steps for non-arriving aliens include the I-130 approval first, then a motion to terminate removal proceedings second, and then thirdly, the I-485 application is filed with USCIS. We work on this particular type of process, guys. Reach out to us for help if you're in removal or if you have a removal order. We had a testimonial that we shared on Sunday. I don't think it had anything to do with removal. I'm not sure, but I'm asking we're going to, we'll maybe mention the title of that story. I think it was a green card story. So if you're on our newsletter list, guys, if you've subscribed, you'll see a Sunday story that we told about our client from St. Martin, who, after being in the United States for 25 years, he finally has his green card after trying these various family petition processes that didn't work. We'll get it up on our website over the next day or two so you could read it. But we have a lot of other stories that involve clients in removal who we were able to help. Let's see. Do you do the medical before you go to the lawyer to apply for the I-130 and the I-485? So with this medical requirement, for us, we start a case right away. We don't tell people during a consultation, go out and get your medical done before we could start your case. No, we start the contract right away. And then after that, we give them a list of documents that they'll need to include, upload to us and get us started on the case. And it includes getting the medical done. And once we get everything we need from our client, including the medical report, we file the case with the government. Type in freedom now, guys. Excuse me, freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. Freedom now, freedom now. Okay, so here's a question. Can someone from super chat, can someone get their citizenship stripped after being charged with a serious felony? So denaturalizing someone is typically based on a number of grounds, and I've covered this in detail in my video on denaturalization. Generally speaking, just a regular crime, like a serious felony, is not even enough for the government to invest a lot of resources to denaturalize someone. But if there's a crime involving espionage or something very high level, national security, high level type of crime, yeah, they will prioritize you for a denaturalization proceeding. But most other people, they would just, if you've committed a serious felony, they would allow the criminal justice system to handle that matter. But go and watch my video on denaturalization, and we're going to try to find it also, the moderator, and put a link to it, the denaturalization video. I have two. There's also one on denaturalization and another one about how individuals can lose their U.S. citizenship. And in that video, I talked more broadly about ways that even U.S. born citizens can lose their citizenship. So we'll try to find the link if we're able to during this chat, this session, and put the link here for you to watch. Freedom now, guys. Hey, Janice, good to see you. Karen is in the house as usual. Thank you. Hey there, Ava. Good to see you. Thank you, familiar folks, for being here today. All right. Hey there, Yamika. Let's go. Let's go. Freedom now. Freedom now. Scroll down some more. Okay. Can you get your green card through marriage after 2 years? After you get your green card through marriage, let me back up. After you get green card through marriage, after 2 years, can you apply for citizenship? After you get your green card through marriage after 2 years. So generally speaking, individuals who had gotten their green card through marriage, they could apply for U.S. citizenship at the 2.9 year mark, or 3 years. You could round it up to 3 years. 3 years mark, which is called early citizenship, early naturalization. Freedom now. What about the F4 category? How long is that time period? Ali is asking. So Ali, with respect to this F4 category, individuals can be in that category for 14 years, 15 years, maybe over 20 years for some people from certain countries. Check the visa bulletin for March, and it will show you where you are in line at this time. All right. Thank you. Fort Lauderdale is practically Jamaica at this point. Yeah, and also Haiti and Cuba and Venezuela, right? It's a very diverse place. It's very nice there in the Miami and Fort Lauderdale area. Freedom now. Okay. I have an I-130 approved, but filed a waiver in 2023, still waiting for it to be approved. Am I safe from being deported? What waiver did you file? You're on track to getting your status all straightened out. Don't worry too much. Again, at this time, they are focusing on individuals with a criminal record who they're having problems finding, but there are over 600,000 individuals with a serious criminal record that ICE knows about, but having problems finding. Secondly, they're targeting individuals with a removal order, if they could find them as well. There are over 1 million of them. People move around all the time, and someone who has a removal order from 10 years ago connected to a particular address most likely is not located in that area anymore. So the government is having problems finding individuals with a removal order. And then thirdly, easier to find category of individuals are those who entered over the last 2 years under the various Biden parole programs, who the government is doing some drastic things with these parole programs right now, canceling them and pausing all applications related to what they've filed so far, including asylum application, work permit applications, green card applications, I-130 applications. Those are they're paused right now for this group of folks who came in recently under the Biden parole programs. And there's an attempt they're moving towards, unfortunately, issue a notice to appear in immigration court for these individuals, or doing expedited removal of them, which cases obviously attorneys will need to fight aggressively. So for you now, you have your approved I-130, you have a waiver pending, you're going through the immigration process, you're not really the low-hanging fruit that they could really pluck right now, right? They're not, they're not targeting the low-hanging, you right now. They're targeting the low-hanging fruit. Thank you. Pauline, today must be a wonderful day then, right? Thank you. I appreciate that. Can I apply for a waiver? Maybe. It depends on what's going on with your background, James. Where are you getting the idea from that you'll need a waiver? A waiver for what problem? You could have a consultation with us so that we could dive deeper. Am I frozen? How's the quality on your end? I see that there's a little bit of hesitation on my side of things. Miguel is asking, do I qualify for 245? If my father had an I-130 petition from 97 for me, maybe we'll search out the records, we'll do our research, and we'll see if you have that opportunity. We work on those cases. We have some success stories related to Section 245I. We'd love to be able to find another success story like that. So you can absolutely have an appointment with us, and we'll request some records and we'll figure things out. Bronx is in the house. Hey there, Celia. Marvin from DC. Thank you. Let's see. I know that we're banning some people. I won't pull up any negative comments on this show, but we're banning them as we see them. Okay. Let's do that. How long does it normally take to get citizenship based on marriage? So during the regular normal times, it took less than a year for some people. Things are going to be a lot different going forward, so I don't know how long it's going to take. Okay, let's keep going. Hey there, Kamran. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I wonder where let us know where you're joining from today, Cameron. Let's keep going. Excuse me. If you have a pending I-751 petition and you apply for citizenship, let's see. If you have a pending I-751 petition and you apply for citizenship, which one will move quickly? So normally by filing the naturalization application, it does push along faster, the I-751 for the government to consider both of them faster than, if you just have your I-751 pending alone. Let's see. Here's another I-40 advanced parole question. Is it advisable to travel on advanced parole? I have a pending I-485. My I-130 has been approved. I have a work permit and a social security card. So, Carissa, at your own risk, you're traveling, of course. And then, secondly, the advanced parole does allow individuals to return to the United States. and you could watch other videos, as we all are, and make your decision. Or you could talk to your lawyer if you have one and make your decision about whether you're going to travel or not. But it does allow individuals to come back in. Do you know if you do your citizenship, it will take longer now? Yes, Rosemarie, it is going to take longer because the agency that processes these applications, first of all, they just fired 50 people, which made no sense because USCIS generates its own income from your filing fees, right? It's income generated. Its revenues comes from filing fees. So now you are going to file an application, and they have fewer people working there, and they're working on all these policy changes, which will slow everyone's cases down. The team they're distracted by all of these frightful things happening with federal workers being fired left and right. How do you think that would affect your productivity if you go into an environment like that every day? Of course, it slows you down. That weight of thinking, is today the day? Are they going to add more people to the list here at USCIS? Am I going to be one of them? So you have all of these other things going on that I think naturally slows the process down, I think, for everyone. But the policy changes in particular, and their extra vetting and scrutiny, and the fact that they're calling people back in for interviews, all of those things collectively will slow down a naturalization case as well. And also, under this administration, I don't think that naturalization will be a high priority case. So for those reasons, it will be slower. You should file now, though, to kind of get ahead of some of these changes that I've been discussing. Here's another travel question. Rose is asking, if we apply for I-485 together with permission to travel, do you think it's safe to travel? For most people, Rose, they can travel. Okay, if you have a criminal history, you should not travel. It doesn't even matter what the history is on the criminal side. I just don't think you should travel if you have a criminal history. But most everyone else who do not have a criminal history will be fine. I entered legally 11 years ago, but unfortunately, my asylum case was denied, or is dismissed. Is dismissed. So I'm in danger right now. So when you say dismissed, are you referring to being dismissed in immigration court? If that's the case, you're off the radar, so to speak. You're not in removal anymore with a removal order. That would have placed you in more danger, so to speak, as you say here. For you, it's a matter of working with an attorney to screen you to see if there's anything else out there for you with immigration. But you're not really I don't think you're on their radar or list, so to speak. Okay, let's see. I have a final removal order from 25 years ago. Can anything happen? Any change I can fight for my, is there a way for me to fight for my freedom? So what we would do, Khan, is this. We would get your records from immigration and see what happened there with your removal case. And then we would also screen you to see if you have, in the very beginning, we would try to screen you during that consultation to see if you have a pathway forward. And if so, then we'll get your records from immigration and see how further we could assist you with that case. Guys, our phone number is right here on the screen for you in red, 914-898-9488, and our email address is there as well. So reach out to us to request a meeting with an attorney. Let's see. For individuals who are having problems receiving their green card from immigration, contact immigration directly about that, about what's going on. A month is not that long of a time to be waiting for the green card to arrive. If you had entered, the son had entered with the immigrant visa. My husband already submitted the I-130 for me, but we can't move forward with the I-45 because of my 612 waiver application. What else can we do? Let's talk about what else you could possibly do in a consultation. I'm not certain right now off the top of my head without knowing more about your background, okay? How's the marriage process going if someone gets married right now and files a case? Right, if someone is working on putting together a new marriage case, I recommend that they focus on proving that they're in a genuine marriage, that they have a marital home, how the relationship developed and how things are going today. Have they brought together their resources, jointly put together their finances? What proof do they have of this relationship? Focus on all of those issues, meaning get your evidence together. Focus on building your case because the scrutiny and the vetting is going to be very challenging, and the government will be looking for ways to deny these marriage cases. So you've got to focus on compiling as much as you possibly can, including text messages, communications. All of that will be required today to prove that you're in a bona fide marriage. And today what they're doing is they're calling people back in for interviews, okay? So expect an interview and be ready for it, prepare for it, and go with your attorney. Reach out to us to start this marriage case. We have a lot of success stories related to complex marriage cases. Nowadays, the way I'm thinking about immigration marriage cases, like every case from my standpoint can be considered complex in light of the scrutiny and vetting that's going to happen with immigration these days. Okay, so that's the state of affairs right now with marriage cases. Hey, Jude, good to see you. Jude is on everything. It's great to see friendly faces. Nice to see you. I see Jude sometimes on Facebook as well. Certainly here on YouTube all the time. So thank you for being here. Freedom Now. Let's scroll down a little bit. Oh, wow. I've never I have never worked with on the military accelerated naturalization process. Me personally, I have never touched that. So the answer is no. I don't know anything about that. Let's see, let's go down a little bit. Roberto says, my mom was a beneficiary of 245I. She got her green card in 2015 and is now awaiting for naturalization interview. Thanks for all the amazing lawyers. Roberto, did you work with us on this? Is this our case? Let me know. It could be, I don't know. Okay, so 10-year green card expired in a year. Any advice about an expired green card? I'm not sure what you're actually asking there. But if obviously the I-90 is the way to go, if your green card has expired, it's an easy administrative process to get it get it renewed. For some people, they may have concerns about whether they should seek renewal or not if they have a criminal history, if something happened after they had gotten a green card, or they're worried because they had gotten the green card fraudulently, there's a problem or something's going on that cause them to be concerned about renewing the green card. Individuals in those situations should absolutely speak with an immigration lawyer about those concerns. But if your green card is going to be expired, then renew it within the time frame that the government has on its website. Let's go back to the general questions. I became a U.S. citizen, Lily is asking, when she was single, but now she's married, and use my married name. Will there be a problem? No. I was thinking that happened to me. No, there's not going to be a problem, right? You became a U.S. citizen when you were single. You're married. You have an official name change. You'll be fine. There's no issue, Lily. My priority date is March 6, 2024, as my son is doing my filing. Okay, so here you have an adult U.S. citizen who filed for his his mom. And how long for the approval? Normally, it's less than a year if you're here doing adjustment of status through this, you're an immediate relative of a U.S. citizen. It's usually a very straightforward and short process, but nowadays it is getting longer, Sandra. So your case could very well be pending longer than a year. You're approaching the 1 year mark very soon. March 2024, your son filed for you. Are you here in the United States doing adjustment of status, or are you abroad and your son has filed for you? The difference is that if you're abroad, certainly the U.S. Embassy drama that is really going to unfold very soon as far as travel bans and slowdowns and the crippling of U.S. visa services, as I've been saying, will interfere with how long it's going to take to bring you here, even though you're an immediate relative of a U.S. citizen. Do you need a lawyer to apply for citizenship? Some people will need a lawyer. Okay, some people will need a lawyer if they have any concerns about anything in their background related to how they got their green card, any criminal issues, tax issues, child support issues, good moral character issues, any concerns like those. Absolutely work with the lawyer. Do not approach naturalization on your own, and use your own conscience and common sense. Here's what I mean by that. Your own conscience. Only you know how you got your green card to begin with, right? You know how you got it. And if you got your green card through a mistake that USCIS made, maybe they missed something, then you know that could be a problem for naturalization. You know that if you intentionally committed fraud or misrepresentation to get the green card, well, yes, that will be a problem that will arise during naturalization. Or if there's a criminal conviction or arrest, that's a very serious criminal issue on your record that happened after you became a green card holder, well, certainly that will come up during citizenship too. So in all of these scenarios, individuals absolutely should work with a lawyer. Now, if you're saying, well, I don't have any of that going on, McBean, I think I'm straightforward. It's a straightforward case because my life is not that, filled with so much drama as you've described it. Well, if that's you, and you're still thinking, I don't know if I should do this on my own. I don't know if it's going to really go well because of all of the Trump problems that are out there with immigration. Well, you also should get a lawyer to work on that naturalization case. But because of the whole Trump immigration problems that are here now, then, you don't want to make a mistake on that naturalization application and for the government to accuse you of anything like fraud or misrepresentation when it was just a little mistake that you made when you worked on your citizenship, your naturalization case on your own. So I guess the short answer is, yeah, I recommend that individuals should work with an attorney for marriage cases and naturalization cases. And don't, you know what? This is going to be a long reel. I can already see the comments. Why didn't you just say no from the beginning? So I'm going to say no right now so that when we edit the reel, the no will be first. So great question. Great question. I do recommend that you should work with a lawyer. So no, don't do citizenship on your own. And here are the reasons why you should work with a lawyer on citizenship or naturalization. Boom, there you go. So we're going to put that in first. All right, guys, let's keep going. Freedom Now. I have my consultations started very soon. Thank you. Let's keep going. Let's see. What else can I answer before I leave today? Okay. Green card holder for 10 years. I have a 10-year green card. It's expired. I'm looking to file for citizenship since I got denied citizenship because of taxes pending. Is it good to apply again right now? So Miguel, you're presenting some real complex issues that we can discuss with you one-on-one, because you mentioned that you have a previous naturalization denial. We're going to want to take a look at that. You mentioned the whole tax issue. We'll look at that too. And then we will answer for you whether now is a good time for you to apply again, because we have to see your full record first to determine whether yours is a case that should be filed now. Okay? For citizenship, particularly after denial, after you were interviewed by the government, if they've accused you of some things like false testimony during your naturalization interview, well, that will inevitably slow down your ability to reapply. The timing changes, okay, as far as when you can reapply. So speak with a lawyer if you're in any situation like that, guys. Take a sip of water. Let's see. Is it advisable to apply for asylum after 8 years in the United States? So, there are some people who can be successful with a late filed asylum application. Most people are not, because they don't have any good reason to have applied for asylum to begin with. So we could talk one-on-one about why you're thinking about asylum. Where is that idea coming from? I've seen some videos, blanket statements that are being made by others in videos telling you that you should just go ahead and file for asylum. But, asylum is one of those processes that you really have to know what you're doing, because if it doesn't work out, you're going to be placed in removal proceedings. So I don't like to give the blanket recommendation to file for asylum. You'll be meeting with one of my colleagues, an asylum expert here. I'm not the asylum expert, so it wouldn't be a meeting with me. But speak with one of our attorneys about whether you should even think about asylum. Okay, let's see. Guys, for those of you who don't already know, I do other live sessions on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and of course I TikTok. Facebook is watching right now, but TikTok. And you should follow me on those forums. We sometimes have more content that comes out on some of those social media platforms that we don't always get a chance to share on YouTube because it's just a lot, right? So plug in to Instagram at McBean Immigration Law, TikTok, McBean Immigration Law, Facebook, McBean Law. Plug in so that you won't miss anything, and certainly subscribe to our newsletter at mcbeanlaw.com/subscribe, okay? So that you'll really be in the loop. Tomorrow, we're going to answer one of your questions through email Q&A. So you don't want to miss our Q&As on Tuesdays. Let's see. I've answered that one. Let me go down here. I've got to get to my consultations. Someone says that I got married last month. I have DACA and I have a legal entry from advanced parole. Should I apply now for adjustment of status or wait at least 6 months? Where are you getting 6 months from? I'd really like to know, first of all. Is it from other attorneys or, I don't know, blogs? In any event, individuals who have recently gotten married and they are thinking about applying for filing the green card should focus again on the body of evidence that I mentioned earlier. Focus on pulling all of those stuff together. And then go in with a strong case to the government, a convincing case. Now is not the time to send a bare bones marriage case to immigration, because under this new system, a bare bones process can get you denied very quickly. And then you lose your filing fees and then have to start all over again or try to appeal that decision. But if you don't send the government the amount of evidence that they're seeking to approve your case, then you're basically throwing away your filing fees. All right, so focus on pulling together the evidence. If you missed my rundown earlier, just watch this video again. It's going to go right out after the session ends. So once you have your evidence together, absolutely get your case filed. How long does it take for the BIA to terminate asylum case appeal, to terminate after my I-130 is approved and filed to get rid of my asylum so I could do the I-485? So you're waiting on the BIA at this time. My question is, before your case went to the BIA, did you do prosecutorial discretion? Did ICE or DHS sign off on a joint motion to terminate and then sent that on to the BIA for termination, for sign-in? Or did you go directly to the board by sidestepping the PD or ICE process, and you went directly there to the board? The timeline is a little, I'm asking these questions because the timeline is a little different in many cases. But if you went directly to the board with your case, you could be looking at maybe more than a year of waiting for them to make a decision. And the BIA process, guys, just a warning, I think cases are going to be pending very, very, very long at the BIA going forward, because of the department policies and all of the changes. Friends, this is enough for today. I've got to get to my consultations. It was really nice being with you today. Reach out to us at McBean Law 914-898-9488 or email us, and we'll be happy to book a consultation for you. Also, follow me on the social media platforms. I usually try to do a live on social media on Tuesdays or Wednesday evenings. It just depends. If there's any breaking news or other information that I'd like to share with you, I will go live right away and connect with you about the breaking news. Thanks so much for being with me today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, before I go, we have a video coming out tomorrow. YouTube, we have a video coming out for you tomorrow, a new upload, so stay tuned for that. We have a couple of things going on, and we're really trying to figure out now which video to share with you tomorrow, but we have 2 that's ready, so just stay plugged in all week on McBean Immigration TV. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.